Today is February 10th, 2016. It's 10:02. Let the record reflect that all three commissioners are present, and therefore we have a quorum. I call the meeting to order. Everyone please stand for a moment of silent meditation and pledge to the flag. Thank you.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Renetta?
We have 5 listings for exonerations today for 2004-5708, fiduciary orders for February 10th, 2016, and a fourth quarter status report for Cynthia Van Stapper, fiduciary commissioner. In your packet, there's a couple other fiduciary items that you would probably want to deal with separately. No minutes to report today. Vouchers, General County Fund 105-40511, 911 cash 2,644. Chestnut Ridge Park, $4,537.33. Camp Muffley, $4,578.78. Assessor's valuation, $2,781. P-card vouchers, General County, $17,719.32. 911, $241.82. Chestnut Ridge Park, $299.63, and Camp Muffley, $131.74, for a total of $138,338.73. We have. As far as I know, we have no introduction of new employees or position vacancies to announce.
Move for approval. Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passed. Thank you. Okay, we got 3 fiduciary issues that we're going to address differently. One's the Ben Livingston estate. There's some protests and all. This documentation just came up yesterday, and of course Commissioner Hawkins and I were in Charleston, and you were shoveling snow.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to look at it either.
Okay. So I would recommend, if there's no objection, that I just continue that till next week.
Yep.
Okay. Then the Jody Hunt estate. She wanted to make us aware that Gary Solomon still has not appeared to take his oath. Hopefully he'll take care of that and follow up on that. We need to move forward on that.
Yes.
Then the Phyllis Statler estate, we had an order to remove William Statler as co-administrator and appoint Robert Statler. As part of that order, he was to file his appraisement within 30 days of January 7th. It's now February 10th. Let's, did you find out, Judy, whether we needed a motion?
Yes.
Could I get a motion to ask Judy Jenkins to send a letter notifying Mr. Statler, Mr. Robert Statler, reminding Mr. Statler of his requirements and ask him to reply.
Move that said letter be mailed.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passed. Thank you. Okay, that takes care of the fiduciary matters.
Okay.
Okay. No employees. Okay, comments from the public. Anyone from the public want to talk about anything they want to tell us? It's not on the agenda. That
I guess not.
now would be the time. Okay. Seeing none, close comments from the public portion. Now we have grants. Honored to have our newly appointed grant coordinator to actually it's just an additional duty, and she hasn't beat us up yet about that, but we'll see after a few months how she does. Colleen Coon, please, come
Well,
forward.
I have 3 requests for reimbursement. The first one is for the alcohol transfer
Just
fund.
come on up here, make sure I have a blue pen. Renetta is not the least bashful, she'll just show you,
Okay.
It's one of those you
So the first
just-
one is for the alcohol transfer fund in the amount of $3,070.54. The second one is for the DUI in the amount of $2,084.14. And the last one is for the VOCA grant for $5,181.99. These are all for the month of January.
Move for approval.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passed. Okay, what else you got, Colleen?
There are five that haven't had any need for reimbursements, and that will be them.
And that's all we have, okay?
We have.
You have a late day for your first day.
I know.
You did a great job.
Thanks.
Keep it up.
Thanks.
Thank you.
I have one other item.
Yes.
As far as grants go. Mike Wolf, Director of the Homeland Security 911, brought me down a grant application. It's the EMPG grants, Emergency Preparedness Grant for, Emergency Management Preparedness Grant for reimbursement of his salary and some other items that are paid through the emergency management side of the organization. They're requesting $41,592, and this is through the West Virginia Department of Homeland Security Emergency Management. Just asking for the president's signature on the grant application, the Equal Opportunity Employment Certification, and the disclosure of lobbying activities. So,
There's no resolution with it?
no, sir.
Okay. Do I have a motion on applying for this grant?
It's so moved that,
Second.
and you sign it.
Second.
I have a motion and second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion passed.
And hopefully we won't have to use them later on today for the snow squalls.
That's a good point. That's a good point. They classify what we do as lobbying? I don't think a government entity could lobby.
No, they're saying, we're certifying that we're not going to use the funds to do any lobbying activities.
Oh, but they classified us as a lobbying entity. We're not a lobbying.
Yeah.
Well,
We're a government entity.
I guess they want to make sure.
That's fine, which means we won't be lobbying.
Yeah. Good.
Okay, thank you. All right, we're honored to have Ms. Denise Palmer, resolution for Heart Disease Awareness Month. Sorry.
And I'm going to introduce to the commission Dr. Bradford Warden. Dr. Warden is the chair of cardiology and is the program director for Interventional Cardiology Fellowship Program, and he's the director of WV Medicine Heart Institute. So we have a resolution and a proclamation for you
Okay.
all.
Yeah.
I'd like you to walk over here so the cameras can get something other than the back of your head.
That's my best side.
Denise, you can come stand with me.
The proclamation by the Monongalia County Commission, whereas heart disease is the #1 killer of women, and whereas more than 5,000 West Virginians that it claims each year, half of them are women, and whereas most women do not know that heart disease is a problem for women and they do not take it seriously, and whereas the risk factors for heart disease are smoking, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, high triglyceride levels, obesity, physical activity, metabolic syndrome, diabetes, family history of heart disease, age, and preeclampsia. And whereas keeping women healthy and promoting awareness of women's health, including heart issues, is an important responsibility and depends on the actions of many organizations and groups in our county and state. And whereas women's health remains a priority for families, communities, and government, and our commitment to keeping women healthy is stronger than ever. And whereas the Heart Truth campaign, sponsored by the National Heart and Lung Blood Institute, part of the National Institute of Health, U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, in partnership with the Office on Women's Health and other groups, including the WVU Medicine Heart and Vascular Institute, is committed to the health and well-being of women. And whereas these groups are working together to build awareness and empower women to reduce their risk and prevent cardiovascular disease. Now therefore be it resolved that the Mon County Commissions of the great state of West Virginia do hereby proclaim February 2016 as Wear Red for Women Month and Heart Awareness Month in Mon County, and urge all citizens to show their support for women in their fight against heart disease by familiarizing themselves with the warning signs, symptoms, and risk factors associated with cardiovascular disease so they might begin to reduce the devastating effects this disease has on our population. In witness whereof, we hereunto set our hands to the County Commission to meet February 10th, 2016.
We have your signatures.
Okay. Move for approval.
Second.
Have a motion and second, any discussion?
We need a blue pen?
Yes, I was going
Yeah.
to. Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passed unanimously. I want to commend you all for your tremendous work. I know it's something that my mother died at a rather young age of 70. And when I was growing up, it wasn't recognized as a major health problem for women, but I really appreciate your all's work. Thank you very much.
I have red dress pins.
Oh,
that
great,
symbolize
'cause I don't have it.
heart disease in the women from the Heart Truth Moment for
Okay.
everybody. So I just want to
Thank you.
give them out to you.
Oh, that's very nice.
Appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Also, I'm not sure if you're aware or you're part of it. Yesterday and today, Brailsford and Dunleavy are working on, they're the group that's going to help explain the project of both the new aquatic center and track. And one of the components that the commissioners have pushed for is a wellness and education component. And we are hoping, in fact, when I was there, several people from the WVU Hospital were there, how they could run programs for the community and the women there. So we look forward that you being a part of that program, and we want to thank you. And that's what we're looking to do, that it's just not going to be aquatic center, but it's going to be a center for the wellness and education. Excellent, thank you.
Yeah, that's a big part of that, to be able to serve the community in a lot of different fashions, and so we look forward to your participation. Thank you for coming in.
Do you want to make a copy or give them or have one?
Do you have it?
No. We can get you a copy of this in just a little bit, a few minutes. Okay. David Bruffy, Mountain Line Transit. We're about 3 minutes early, but I think we can start anyway.
You don't mind?
So, if you don't mind, you can have a seat or you can stand, whichever's more comfortable.
Commissioners, thank you for the opportunity to come talk to you this morning. During our January 13th board meeting, the Mountain Line Board of Directors asked me to convey to you all, which I did in writing, our request for consideration of an excess property tax levy to support transit funding for a 5-year period. The reason, of course, that we're requesting consideration of that excess property tax levy is because it is the only method for revenue, a dedicated revenue stream that the Transit Authority has available to it through state statute. As a part of that process, what we did was take a recent study by AECOM, which made recommended levels of service. We looked at our long-term budget presentation that we provide to the Federal Transit Administration, and we put together a budget and a proposed levy rate for the Commission's consideration. The levy funding for purpose is to, of course, provide for the funding that the County Commission had provided through coal severance in the past. Also for equipment replacement, as you may know, because of the FAST Act, the Federal Highway Transportation Bill, the funding for vehicle replacement was cut by $500 million. And that means that for transit, we are going to have a tough time replacing equipment. We're going to have to use local funds for that. The other challenge that we face is providing service in new and growing areas of the county. That's been an ongoing issue for us. We had, of course, the Suncrest Town Center. As you know, those folks have been in here and they've been asking me for service for a number of years, as well as the folks at Milan Park, and now with our new exit in that area. Also the potential for a recreation center and new employment, Pace Tech, Stepping Stones, all the folks out there, we don't have regular service for them. And I'm sure at the rate that we're projected to grow, we won't have the ability to provide additional service to other growth areas. So what we're proposing is an excess levy that would be a rate of 1.1 cent for Class 1. That's Class 2, means it's 2.2 cents. And you can see some sample calculations what this would mean to property taxpayers. So for someone that was in a rural part of the county, not in a municipality, the rate that we're proposing on a $200,000 home, it would cost approximately $26.40 a year.
And that is a year, correct?
That is a year, yes. And if it's commercial property or if they're in an incorporated area, it would be $52.80. And when you look at those numbers in terms of what that means on a weekly or a monthly basis, for folks in the county, it's about 51 cents a week or $2.20 a month to provide public transit services. And in the municipalities, it's $1.02 a week or $4.40 a month. So as far as the rate goes, of course, nobody likes new taxes, but it's what we think is a reasonable and balanced amount of funding to be able to provide public transit services for the residents of Mon County. All of the issues that we face with traffic congestion and investment in public transit to try and provide people a viable alternative to the personal auto, it's certainly less expensive than the new roads we'd have to build to try and build our way out of that issue. And it's also for our children, their generation, they tend to prefer urbanized areas that have public transit, so it has other benefits beyond just the benefits of the folks that you might consider as last resort riders. And in fact, of the 1.1 million rides that public transit provided in 2015, approximately 75% of those riders were affiliated with WVU in some way or another, whether they were faculty, staff, or students. People commuting into town. I had a telephone call from a lady at Halleck, and she said, "So you're telling me I'm going to have to pay $26 to keep the bus service that I have?" And I said, "Yes, that's what I'm telling you." And she said, "Well, how do I help? I ride every day. I come in and I work at WVU and I use the WVU pass." And so I guess the interest and support is yet to be determined, but that's what we're asking the commission to do. And we've prepared an order for your all's consideration. It has the numbers that we've worked with through the assessor's office. And the rates in there reflect a 5% uncollectible rate, which I haven't verified that for the county. I'm not sure what that is.
That's required from the auditor's office.
It's a 5%.
And then you put that in as a collectible in sort of your projection. Here I am talking to Chief Tax Deputy right there. She probably
He is correct.
cite the verse, but the auditor tells us what to put on there.
That's what I thought I'd seen in other examples. And then we also included a 2% reduction for early payment in taxes And then
That's the
there
same
is
thing.
and there is a 0.31%, I think, that goes to the agencies that collect the taxes. So with that all considered, the amount that we're looking to collect per year is $1,937,000. And the actual amount that would go toward transit services would be $1,797,994. Over the 5 years, that total is $8.9 million.
Could I ask a question?
Yes, please.
We're not allowed to be yay or nay, but I just want to get a clarification. Am I correct, at one point I remember when you came before us, you said that you also offer 800 free pass? Could you explain that a little bit too?
Yeah, we have a pass program through senior Monongalians, and really anybody can sign up for it in the county. Anyone who's 62 and older can sign up for a free bus pass. Right now, we have about 850 people signed up for that, through that program, so our seniors are riding free. We also have a program for high school students. Any high school students can sign up for free ridership and free IVs. And of course, all these services, considering what our budget's going to look like without a levy, they're all going to be considered in jeopardy. Yes, no doubt.
Thank you.
And with that, if there are any other questions, I'd be happy to try and answer them for you.
Just the discount is 2.5%.
2.5, okay.
Yeah, that would need to be adjusted on this order. Also on this order, maybe I'm missing it, tell me if it's here. I think in this order we've got to say where a citizen can get a copy of it. Is that in here?
That I didn't look for. I don't know.
Look, they can pick it up at the county commission office, or they can pick it up at the Mountain Line bus, or...
I knew the circulation, the 2-week Class 2 legal ad was...
It's a legal ad, I know. Yeah, I saw that.
But that's an administrative thing that doesn't prevent us from voting on it. That's just something that you correct, like the 2.5%. I mean, that's just an administrative... I believe that's... I'm trying not to practice law, but I believe that's a requirement. That you say where you can get the copy of the... where a citizen can get a copy of the proposed levy.
It may very well be, and that may be the purpose of the Class 2 legal ad, too.
Yeah.
I think that's
That may what the Class 2.
Yeah.
That's what you don't have the ad itself attached to it. That's where it appears. That's what you're right.
Okay.
So when you complete the class, you'll have it in there. Okay, fine.
And this
Yeah.
discount's 2.5%, you said? I'll pass that on.
Ed, do you have any questions?
No questions. I would like to, since you're here, I was going to mention this in my report, but I think it should, perhaps you could enlighten us. There is a volunteer driver program that you have instituted,
Yes.
and I believe your contact is Kelly Lanev.
Lenny. Yes.
Lenny,
Mhm.
right? She is the mobility coordinator of Mountain Line Transit, and they are starting a program, I believe, to allow passengers who need, these are the areas that were particularly, I think, had to be cut back, that still would like to go and have, so they're looking for people who want to be drivers for these passengers. They have passengers, but they don't have enough drivers. So could you elaborate a little bit on this?
Yeah, the volunteer driver program, we actually applied to the state for a grant. We got about $35,000 that would allow us to do a couple things. We could either reimburse people who want to use their own vehicle, or we could pay for the rental and the mileage if we lease a vehicle to be able to pick someone up with a volunteer driver. The purpose of the program is exactly what you indicated. It's for people that don't have another way to get where they need to go. And we're trying to build that program. The real challenge is, of course, volunteer drivers.
Yes.
We have lots of volunteer riders. We need volunteer drivers.
That's why I wanted, that's why I wanted to bring it up here, so that
Yeah,
people
appreciate
might
that.
see that,
Yeah,
that,
and if anyone's interested, they can call us at 296-3680. It's 304-296-3680, and I'm sure that Ms. Lenny would be more than happy to give them the application. We have a training program for the drivers. We do the background checks
Also,
on
I
them.
mentioned you do have to be above 25, I believe.
Yes.
Okay, so, yes,
Yeah, so anyone that's interested in that, we'd be happy to have
that's the
you on
age
board.
of, the age of 25, okay? Thank you.
Thank you.
Everything I read here, the order looks all in order. It's timely, and it's presented with the complete, addressed the issues completely as far as I can tell.
I would move for approval.
The one thing that I asked Renetta to do was to send it down to the auditor's office to make sure that the numbers and everything, we have the correct numbers. And there seemed, that's the numbers we have, that's numbers we were told, but just to make sure there's no conflict.
It's a courtesy to the
Yeah, we're
county
supposed to.
commission that they do
I
that.
don't have a problem with that.
Okay, I just wanted to-
Let me try to address it.
okay, go
If you
ahead.
stop for a second. Commissioner Hawkins, can you modify your motion to
Yes.
authorize it to be sent, also to make the clerical corrections that's been noted?
As moved, yes.
Second, thank you.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? Pass unanimously. It's one of those things that you either give up on the service or we try to find a way to pay for it. Commissioner Hawkins and I will both be talking about our time down in Charleston. There's no money down there, and it's not going to be coming.
Yep.
As a matter of fact, the things they're doing down there is going to put more financial burdens on the counties without providing us any means to pay for it. So,
Well, we certainly appreciate the opportunity to take it before the voters for their consideration.
thank you very much for your work.
Thank you.
I would add this one thing, being on the MPO, as you've been on for a long, long time. The standard is, one bus route takes care of one road or something, or a transit system takes care of the need of one major road.
When you look at the use on, well, all you have to do is get stuck behind one of the buses that's unloading on downtown campus when you see 75 people get off of it. Yeah, the amount of space that it takes up, the pollution, the contribution to the elimination of the carbon footprint, it's very significant. I don't have those numbers at the top of my head, but yeah, it is a significant contribution. The number of rides that we provide between the Evansdale and downtown campus is over 300,000 rides a year. So if you imagine what that would do in traffic, yeah, I don't know how many miles of cars stacked bumper to bumper that would be, but it would be a few.
Yeah, it's certainly, the Morgantown Metropolitan Planning Organization focus on that all the time, and if anyone's interested in numbers, we can get them from there,
Yeah.
but we discuss that all the time. I want you to also take our thanks back to your board. They recognize the situation and they're trying to deal with it, so thank you, and please pass our thanks on to the board.
Will do. Thank you, Jim.
Okay, we have executive session, we'll continue on, and we'll come back to that at the end of the meeting. Correspondence, we have anything in correspondence?
No, sir.
Unfinished business, we have anything in unfinished business?
I do not.
I have one question.
something further?
Well, I just asked, I see the sheriff is here, and we had held off last week when you were here. We were wondering if you could give us an update on where we are with the Vermont Inn and the situation there.
Actually, we thought we'd let you know about all the
Yes, in fact,
hotels and motels. There's 13 that are classified in the county that are under this, the ordinance and the occupational tax that they have to pay. What we did was on December 15th, we sent out letters and information to all those hotels and motels, and one of the things in that packet of information, we asked for a contact sheet so that each one of those hotels or motels could give us the people that we're supposed to contact if we run into a situation or an issue that we could contact them. All but 4 have sent us back their contact sheets, and there's 4 that right now are in arrears, and Kelly and I will be visiting each of those 4 today to remind them of what their obligations and responsibilities are. We did ask for information from Ramada Inn. We received part of that information. We haven't received it all, and that's the accounting for 2015. So that will be the discussion that we'll have with them today, as well as the others. The ones that are on the list right now that are in arrears to some degree are Morgantown Motel, Ramada Inn, Hilton Garden Inn, and the new Holiday Inn. So we will visit those today and make sure that their CFOs understand what the responsibilities are and what the ramifications are if they don't abide by the ordinance.
Thank you very much, Sheriff.
Thank you.
Appreciate your work.
Yes.
Okay, any other unfinished business? Hearing none, any new business?
I have one item.
Yes, sir.
Allow me to use my phone.
Absolutely.
This is a email that came from Joe Statler this morning, and it has been discussed as to the naming of the highway, the newly constructed highway that's being done, as to the Veterans Highway. Now, the veterans have been asked, we named this new road, this is 46/7, the Veterans Highway. This is Joe's. I have been told that the commission needs to send a letter of support and to send it to Lori Hodges, executive assistant, and we have the email address. So,
Is that a motion?
I would move that we send this letter to Lori.
I strongly second that.
I also indicated that we would like to have flags present on the interchange, similar
Yes.
to what is used at
Fairmont.
Fairmont, because I think that is really a good touch to see those flags when you're going to be coming through our county and coming to that interchange. So,
Should we have 2 separate letters for that, or do you just want to?
just the one letter.
Just the one letter?
Yes. Joe is working on that as we're speaking.
Okay, a motion and second, and further discussion. Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Pass unanimously. Thank you. Any further new business? Hearing none. Reports from elected officials. There, Clark.
About a little over a month ago, the commission issued a notice for the precinct changes for the upcoming May primary election. And the commission, today's the day that the commission would need to issue their order for those precinct changes. There will be a notice published in the newspaper by the end of the week. I can show you the preliminary notice. I'm still waiting to hear from our political party executive committees on our early voting location, and I have 3 other questions that I still have out for Verizon and some locations. But overall, we currently have 53 polling locations, and we're looking at going down to 42 precincts, and those would be in 30 different locations. I have a call out to the Secretary of State's office on another matter relating to putting multiple precincts in a location. But I think this does reduce our footprint. I think it'll make it more efficient for the voters. As we're decreasing precincts that are only used on election day, we're trying to increase early voting locations so that the voters can take advantage of the 10-day voting period at multiple locations around the county. So,
What we need to
commission
deal.
will need to entertain now to issue the order for the precinct consolidations and locations.
Yeah, that's what we need now, just the precinct
Yes.
order. Was there any comments, did we receive any comments whatsoever on those precinct changes?
No, we have not. We probably will after it's published, the order is published in the newspaper.
And then you'll let us know.
Yes.
We need a motion to proceed with the consolidation of those precincts if it's the wish of this commission.
So move.
Second.
A motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed. One of the things I wanted to bring up before you moved on to your next one, there's a couple counties that's been debating the use of multiple locations for early voting. And I don't know, you've probably heard this criticism, but I just wanted to bring it out because I discussed it with some commissioners down in Charleston. The concern that by putting it in certain locations, you may actually be, gerrymandering is not the word, but you actually might be promoting certain areas for political purposes by putting it in those locations rather than just having one singular one. That's just a debate that's going on. You've probably heard it.
Well, there's actually protection for that in the code, because in order to hold an early, as what we call a satellite early voting location, you have to have the permission of each of your political party executive committees within the county. So we have one main early voting location now, which is an annex to the courthouse. We had to create Mount Normal as an annex for that location for us to be able to use as our main early voting location. But if we branch out and hold other satellite locations for early voting, then I sent email correspondence to each of our political party executive committee chairs and ask for their written agreement that we would hold one location at Mason-Dixon Park, which is a county-owned facility that is on Route 7, easily accessible. And the reason we wanted to do that is because the western end was going to lose 3 or 4 precinct locations in our consolidation, and that would allow them to vote for a full 10-day period at Mason-Dixon Park. I also asked for their permission to explore a location at either Pierpont or Cheat Lake to handle people for the Eastern Magisterial District. So right now we have an early voting location in the Central Magisterial District. We would have possibly a location in the Western Magisterial District, and if I could identify a location in the Eastern at Pierpont or Cheat Lake to handle all the traffic for a 10-day period that might come in and out of that area, and I'm waiting to hear back from them. So I have included it here. I had asked them to let me know by today, and that way that we could publish by the end of the week. I have talked to my only hang-up with the Eastern is finding a location that will let us be there for 10 days. And I don't want to run it. The law says you only have to run it for 5 days, but if we can't run multiple locations at different times than we run the one, it's too confusing to the public. I want to try to run everything at the same time.
Very good.
So, with your part of your order today would be allowing us to move forward with all of those things.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. Reports from elected officials. Sheriff, you have anything?
Just very briefly, of course, we attended the West Virginia Association of Counties Conference this Sunday through Tuesday, which was pretty informational. Had some good information to be passed out, and I think one of the interesting things, certainly for me and probably everybody that was there, was the legislative session that's going on right now and all the issues that are being brought up. And so I was surprised to see that some things, bills had already been enacted, or not enacted, but passed, and others that we hope might be. But all in all, it was a good conference. I think we each came away with a little more knowledge than we went with, and it's always good to get all the county elected officials together in a forum like that. So a lot of networking goes on, and then the legislative reception that was held, we had an opportunity to speak to our legislators as well as others throughout the state, and about concerns that we have, and maybe issues that they might be able to take some position on our behalf. So that's always good. So I thought it was a good conference.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. Any other elected officials out there? Okay. Reports from county commissioners. Tom?
Yeah, just real quickly, as everyone is aware, we had a public forum last week. I thought it was an exceptional turnout. a lot of community input, a lot of ideas, and a lot of positive comments in trying to resolve some difficult situations. And I just want to thank the other two commissioners, for being there. And I just think it was a great turnout, and hopefully we'll continue and work, keep this going. And I want to thank also the public for showing up.
On Friday, we all attended a meeting at the Readiness Center that Senator Manchin came in. I know it was covered in the news, but it is heartening to see that he has a great interest in trying to keep the economic driver that we have in this area going. He asked for a single project in terms of the new highways bill that the community might, by acclamation, say what would be the most popular thing to try and alleviate immediately congestion, and it was the completion of the Mile Ground project came forward. So we're hoping that perhaps some of his weight might come to bear upon this. Commissioner Cal and I both also attended the conference the Sheriff spoke about, and I'll let him elaborate on that. But I have a little bit of good news. I'd like to mention that Morgantown Disposal is marketing to homeowners associations and developments for garbage pickup and a bi-weekly recycling. Now, they are currently looking at the routes that the old Suburban Sanitation company did collect. So if you're in the Cheat Lake area, Stewartstown, they're trying to get onto Baker's Ridge. But these areas are the areas that were serviced by Suburban before. They are interested in having you contact them, 681-443-4568 or morgantowndisposal@yahoo.com. I think this could be a good resolution to getting recycling going back the way that it was before with a convenient pickup. And the prices that I saw were competitive. I would suggest that we bring them in for a work session so that we might be able to question them more regarding this. And see.
I think we asked them before.
Down the road,
Well, I guess we just got kind of backlogged, but yes, I think that's a great idea. Let's do that.
I agree.
And that's all I have.
Okay, yes, I would reiterate that I was very pleased with Senator Manchin's appearance and his discussion. I've had an opportunity, again, he appeared at the Waco, West Virginia Association of County Officials meeting as well. I've had an opportunity to talk to his staff. It was interesting that we talk about our infrastructure problems, and I was informed by one of the staff members that this area was the only one who was ready with a project. They said, we got one that's been delayed, and I think that reflects the things I talked about on Friday, and the things I talk about all the time. We got to work together. We got to be committed together. It's all county officials, it's all commissioners, it's all counties. We got to stand together and we got to work together, whether it be the chamber or the transit or the municipalities. Collaboration and working together is the only way we're going to solve the problems that West Virginians face. And I think it was great to have Commissioner Hawkins there. I know this is your first year, and I think you're seeing a lot of things I've talked about a lot.
I did go last year.
Yeah, I didn't want to.
That's okay.
I didn't want to cut you wrong on
No.
that.
It's a very educational process.
Yeah, but I think that he would agree that message that we here at Monongalia County has been carried about collaboration and working together is passing over to other counties.
It is.
And they talk to us on a regular basis. Our issues are regional issues, and the legislature can talk down there about different things, but the real solutions, I believe, rest in the counties and with the county officials and chamber and everyone, all interests working together. You got to have the economic development. You can talk about jobs all you want to. I prefer to talk about opportunities. whether it's be a type of job or whether it's be a type of business, you got to create opportunities. The only way to create opportunities is have the infrastructure. The only way, and as Mr. Bruffy just talked about a little bit ago, many of these people, the only way they can get the jobs is to have the kinds of infrastructure such as buses to get there. You got to have the roads, you got to have the utilities. That's the only way you can create opportunity. It's all interconnected. So those are the kind of things we talked about. We were fortunate to also have the president, Sally Clark, the president of the National Association of Counties there. She, of course, being from Colorado, was all decked out in her Denver Broncos outfit and cheered that on Sunday night. And I had a great opportunity to cheer along with her. I wasn't sure who I was in favor of until she sat down next to me, and I said, I'm all for Denver. So that was to talk to her and share the ideas and concerns was very beneficial. We've got a number of different issues that are in the early stage of the legislative process down there. I won't burden this commission right now because all that's in flux, as everyone knows. I would say that the one positive that appears to be moving, it's moved out of government sub, was the ability to collect delinquent property taxes and apply any outside expenses across the board. That seems to be moving and seems to be understood. It's always been in the past that if we spent any money to collect property taxes, like hiring an outside attorney, the county commission had to pick it all up. Well, based on our meeting last week, everyone should now know that we get, what, 18%, 20%, something 24%, and 75% goes to the school board or the municipalities. Well, if you take a bill that you try to collect the bill, and why would we go out and hire an attorney to collect that money when we end up having to pay money out of our pocket to collect it and we get nothing back? So this legislation would correct that, and I feel strongly that was one of the major priorities. The other one that seems to be moving, it's got real movement in it, was the hotel motel tax 30-day exemption.
Good.
We're less affected, although we are affected. But a lot of counties like Wetzel County and Marshall County, they had very few hotels, and they were virtually getting no hotel motel tax because the oil and gas companies, were renting these rooms for 6 months at a time. And even though they had different people coming in and out because it was only one name, at the end of 30 days, not only can you no longer charge the hotel motel tax, but you got to refund the first 30 days back to the gas company. So that was really breaking a lot of counties, and it had an adverse effect on us, and it's just not fair to tie up those hotels. So I'm happy to report that those two of our priority bills for the County Commissioners Association has movement and support, so I'm happy about that. I think that's pretty much all I want to cover at this point. I want to announce ahead of time, we do have the County Commissioners Association coming up March 6th, 7th, and 8th, and all commissioners and our administrator. Did you decide whether you're going to take Colleen this time or not?
Yeah, to the summer one, the annual.
Oh, you're going to save her for the training. Okay.
Just to do the training.
So we got more work to do at the legislature, and we got movement, and I just want to thank the two commissioners for their support, and I feel strongly about this. When I go down or I make a phone call or whoever I talk to, I'm very, very appreciative of both Commissioner Hawkins and Commissioner Bloom's support for my efforts to advance our issues. So I want to thank you for your continued support.
And our thanks.
Okay, need to have a motion to go into executive session.
Move to go into executive session pursuant to 6-9A-4-2-A.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion pass. We'll take a 3-minute break. A motion to come out of executive session.
Move to come out of executive session.
Second.
A motion and second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion pass. We're out of executive session and regular session. What's the wish of the commission?
Move to adjourn.
Second.
Have a motion second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion pass. We are adjourned. Thank you.